Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Jeff. Thank you for checking out my channel, Films at Home. This channel is all about 4K, Blu-ray, collecting, reviews, top 10 lists, all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you're definitely going to want to subscribe. We just hit 4,000 subscribers as I'm making this video, so that's incredible. I only started this, a little while ago, and I've already got such great support from everybody, so I appreciate it. Today, what I'm going to review is a 4K copy that was sent to me from another channel called Movie Chatter. So go check out that channel. I'll leave a link in the description. She sent me a 4K disc of Fury, which I didn't get for review. I didn't get this from the studios. I hadn't picked it up yet. Sent it over to me through the mail. I was really excited to check this one out. I had heard some good things about it online, and it is definitely a solid 4K disc. So I'll dive a little bit into the picture quality, the audio quality. I'll talk about the special features and the packaging. And then at the end, stick around because I have a quick little giveaway to do to some subscribers here for hitting 4,000, and you guys are really gonna like that one. So it's nothing crazy, but it's something nice that you otherwise wouldn't get. So I'm throwing in a giveaway. And it is connected to Fury. If that gives you a hint, you'll have to stick around till the end to figure out what that is. But let's play the intro and get started with this review. Alright guys, so let's jump right into the video. A couple facts about Fury before we get started. Fury was shot on 35mm film, which is very rare for a newer movie, but a lot of people are bringing back films. So David Ayer, the director of this, did shoot in 35mm. It was finished at a 4K digital intermediate, and so what you're getting here is a true 4K master. Fury was always one of my favorite Blu-rays, but there were a couple times in there where it was just really hard to see what was going on because it's such a dark movie. And the 4K resolution not only helps with a little bit of clarity, but the HDR helps with the contrast, helps with the black levels. It really brings out, all those darker scenes so much easier to make out, especially towards the end of the movie. If you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about, but it is almost pitch black at times, but you can tell what's going on because there's a really nice contrast here. And it's not just this gray, washed out, grayish black screen where it's hard to tell sometimes on Blu-ray. You've got very defined blacks and grays, and it's very uniform color, so that's really great. It helped improve the experience by far. And then the 4K resolution added some nice depth in a lot of scenes, as well as the HDR. It's a very gray, blue, a little bit of green tinted movie. It feels a lot like Saving Private Ryan, has a lot of the same color schemes and tint to it. And the HDR really helped to, it didn't overpower the tint. It made it more, it played it more into the movie itself, made it more natural looking. And that really was a big improvement over the Blu-ray in my opinion. So the 1080p Blu-ray is great, but this 4K disc, excellent. One thing to note, it was shot on film, so you are gonna see grain. Granted, in 4K, you've got more pixels to work with. As I've said in previous videos, you guys may know this by now, but the Blu-ray, you've got less to work with. The grain's gonna be a little bit heavier and more present. When you go to 4K, you have more resolution to work with, so the grain's there, but it's much finer. It feels much more like film itself, as if you were watching it on a film projector, and so it didn't detract at all from my experience. Now, if you hate grain, you might notice it, but I barely could make it out for most of the movie. The darker scenes is where it's really gonna stand out. Now, for the audio, we're working with a Dolby Atmos track here, which is incredible. You're gonna wanna have a really good subwoofer for this. So I have an SVS 20-inch subwoofer, SB20 I believe it's called. Model name might be wrong, but it's 20-inch SVS subwoofer, huge subwoofer, has its own power supply. I mean, the thing's massive, but the tank shots, every time a tank fired off in this movie, it shook the room, and it was incredible. The Atmos, as always with war films, adds so much depth and height and just immerses you completely in the experience, which is exactly what it's for. The previous Blu-ray was only working with a DTS HD 5.1 master audio track, which is still very good if you don't have the Atmos capable equipment yet. It's a solid audio track, so you're gonna get the same experience as you do with the Blu-ray if you don't have Atmos. But if you have Atmos, this is a 10 out of 10, blows the 5.1 out of the water. It's just a much better audio experience. Really blew me away. Probably my favorite part of this release, other than helping out with some of the darker scenes at the end, the way the HDR did that. Very helpful, but the Atmos is what makes this such a great release in my opinion, because it was already a very solid Blu-ray from a visual standpoint. The audio needed that bump, and this is what gives it to us on the 4K disc. Now in terms of packaging here, I'm not sure if this originally came with a slipcover. I didn't get one when it was sent to me, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't have had one in the first run. I believe I've seen some out there with it. Right now at this point, you're probably getting it without. New artwork on the front, and then you've got just a pretty basic 2-disc set. You've got a Blu-ray, you've got a 4K disc, black case. There's also a digital copy included, which I had already pulled out. But really nothing special here in terms of packaging. I have a Blu-ray Steelbook of Fury actually, which is a really nice Steelbook. So obviously, I wish it could have looked something like this. Really cool Steelbook. Has a great, artwork on the front and back. Just a single disc on the inside, got the Blu-ray disc, but it was a Target exclusive, really nice Steelbook. I grabbed this right when it came out on Blu-ray. 4K compared to the Steelbook, like obviously you're gonna go with this. One option, you could throw the 4K disc into your Steelbook and keep the Steelbook packaging, throw this on the shelf somewhere. It's an option I might, explore. Some people have been doing that with other releases too, because I love the packaging on this one. It's just so cool. One thing to note about the 4K as well though, is that there are extra bonus features. What's nice is the 4K disc has features. The 4K disc has a documentary called Tanks of Fury, No Guts, No Glory, The Horrors of Combat, breaks down the war. There's a featurette about the tank itself, about the movie, how it was made, a behind the scenes, Clash of Armor, which is about the tank battles, and then the trailer. So all that stuff is on the 4K disc. That's a ton of special features. You never get special features like that in a 4K disc. And the Blu-ray has all the same stuff. It's got deleted scenes and extended scenes and some more featurettes, a photo gallery, the usual. But really cool to see, that Sony put special features on the 4K disc here, so you don't have to flip back and forth, and you've got some stuff to watch in 4K outside of the movie. Really cool stuff. Haven't seen that in a lot of discs, but that's definitely a plus for this one. Not much to be said here that I haven't already said. I would give this a solid, 8.5, 9 out of 10 in terms of 4K discs. It's probably gonna make a run at a top 10 list for the end of the year. It's really solid. Is it a massive upgrade over the Blu-ray? Visually, no. They're pretty close, especially because it was shot on film, so it's still a little bit softer. You're not gonna have that crisp digital 4K look. But the audio is where I'd give it a solid 10 out of 10. The Atmos is gonna be where you wanna upgrade. So if you don't have the Atmos system yet, I'd hold off on Fury until you upgrade your sound system, then go get it in 4K. But if you have the 4K TV, if you've got the Atmos stuff, if you got a big subwoofer already, then you're gonna wanna take full advantage of this. Go grab the 4K disc. I don't think you'll regret it whatsoever. So thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, because here's what I've got for you. Right now, I have 2 copies of Fury, digital copies. This one is from the Steelbook. I just found this, didn't even know when I started this video I had this, but it's an HD copy. This one's from the 4K. To be determined if it redeems in 4K. I haven't tried it. I've heard mixed things online, so up to you guys, but I have one of these to give away and one of these to give away. There'll be 2 different winners. All you have to do to win these is leave a comment down below and be subscribed. What I want to know from you guys is, give me your top 10 movies. Top 10 movies of all time. I don't care if they're on 4K, Blu-ray. Send me a top 10 list, because I want to know what you guys want to see, what I should go get in 4K to review, stuff like that. I want to know what you guys like. So leave me a top 10 list, top 5 list is okay if you can't think of 10. But I'm going to try to do some more top 10 videos. People have been asking for them, and so I thought this is a good way to kickstart it. I can maybe take 10 movies from your guys' favorite lists, go through, do a big review, talk about Blu-rays, 4Ks, just talk about how you can collect those movies. Thought it might be something cool to do. So if you comment your top 10 or top 5 movies, you're entered in automatically, as long as you're subscribed, to win one of these digital copies. I'll pick a winner a couple days from now, send them a message on YouTube, and then we'll get the email and I'll send you the digital copy. But good luck, guys. Hopefully somebody wins it that hasn't seen the movie before. That's always nice. And if the 4K copy redeems, that's gonna be really cool. So yeah, thanks for watching to the end. Thank you for checking out the channel. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. got me to 4,000 subscribers in just a short amount of time, especially where I don't really know what I'm doing. I just like movies, I like collecting movies, I like talking about movies. I don't have the equipment. Obviously, I'm not as high tech as some of these other channels, and the production value isn't there. So I appreciate everyone who's watching and just wants to hear my opinion. It means a lot to me. So yeah, thanks guys. Definitely check out my other videos. There'll be some videos up here in a second, and then you hit the subscribe button. Always growing subscribers, always trying to get that number up. Really appreciate it, and stay tuned for my next couple videos because I have some really cool stuff to give away in those as well. Working with a couple of partners, but I've got some really cool giveaways. So stay tuned for some stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.